YouTube. Okay.
What's going on, YouTube? It's the Bushy Beard, and I'm back, and I'm bushier than ever. And right now, we got Bushy Dad here. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well.
Okay.
So we've started this
Something gold or whatever.
Gold or Coal is what it's called.
Okay.
It's kind of like a series on the channel where every now and then we'll talk about, just different life lessons and stuff.
Okay, that's cool.
And so last time my dad brought one, and he has no idea what I'm about to talk about here. So we're just going to go with it.
Okay, let's do it.
It's kind of just conversational style here, right? So one thing that I've noticed in my life that I would say is something I received from you and Mom
Okay.
is generosity.
Oh, okay.
Being generous with what I have to help people out. So I want to know where that came from in your life. Where do you think along the way you picked up such a generous spirit?
I would say for me that it didn't come, that I think it's part of my Christian life.
Okay.
Because I was not particularly generous before, I accepted the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just true.
Right.
I was pretty much out for myself and for what I could get and all. And over time, those things got stronger in me. Your mom also she's a generous person.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting part, though, I mean, it's interesting that you bring it up because is that the truth of the matter is you take the generosity that Mom and I had, and yours is on a whole different.
Well, I don't necessarily.
No. I know
that,
you don't. I know you don't believe that. And in some ways, you can't accept that. But that's true. The first time that came true to me
mm-hmm.
was when remember you used to spend a lot of time with Brant and Josh, and Brant's a dear friend of ours. He's an attorney. Oh, Mark became an attorney. How interesting is that? And Brant was into sports and stuff. I'm not into sports. Mark was always into sports. So actually, it was kind of not a bad crossover thing. I didn't spend much time with Joshua, but
Brant's son is the intellectual type.
Yeah.
Which got along really well with my dad.
Yeah.
I was never much of the intellectual type until a little later in life, but.
Oh, that is. In fact, there were times when I thought, well, is he average, or smarter than average, or maybe needs a little help in school,
Yeah.
Maybe. But as it turned out, after he got back from the war, Mark was motivated in ways I'd never seen. But the generosity thing, to get back to it, is when Mark would go with Brant and Joshua, they would go into like Cherokee and various places, and they'd go to look at stuff and buy things. And Brant said he would always give the boys like $10 to go buy something. And he said that Mark always, and bear in mind, this is like probably even preschool age, would always buy gifts for everybody else first. See, I don't even know where that comes.
It comes from you guys.
Well, yeah, but that was never me.
Yeah. Well, as a kid, but that's because your influences as a kid. I would venture to say. I mean, I knew Grandpa later in life.
We love Grandpa.
Yeah. Now.
That's right. We love you, Grandpa.
Yeah, we do. And we miss you.
Yes, we do.
But I would venture to say that you probably didn't necessarily have the most best role model when it comes to that.
No.
From what I hear from your past.
Yeah.
And so I think, again, that's that whole nature versus nurture, is that I think I grew up in that kind of environment.
Right.
And it kind of impressed on me. So.
Yeah. And I would say that my mother was a much kinder, more giving person than my dad was. Now, my dad, his view, I remember I talked to him about it one time, and he goes, Well, no, the idea for him was that he needed to become a millionaire or multimillionaire. Then he would have enough to give away.
Right.
Then you could give away as you wanted to, but that you had to get that money
Right.
first, and that was never my mom's view and stuff. But I know Mark doesn't. Mark, there's no way Mark can actually see what the different levels are, or that it would start that young. That he would wish to be generous to his family before himself as a little kid.
Well, and I'll be the first to say that I was
Okay.
relatively lucky. I would even say really blessed to have the family I did. I think me, you, Becca, and Mom were always really close, and we always had a relatively kumbaya family.
Yeah.
There are times, obviously, when I would get milkshake snatched away from me or something. but I think we've been really blessed with the family that you guys created, because again, it's you and Mom creating this habitat and nurturing that habitat to grow. Is there a specific memory that you have that kind of turned that your previous feeling of generosity to where you are now?
Well, in part, certain things in your life get reset at different times, and they get reset and reset again. This is not a condoning drugs,
Right.
but during that period of my life, I became more open to being generous and stuff like that. Now, I didn't know what generous meant,
Right.
and that's the truth. A lot of times, that's simply an intellectual thing. Somebody comes to you and needs something, get out of my face.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing.
Right.
But to me, I think that inside me, see, I honestly believe that God works through us and changes us. And like when I was doing drugs, I had a mindset I wanted to go toward. I wanted to be open and caring. In fact, part of what I loved about the hippie movement was everything's about to change for the better.
Yeah.
It's all, the entire world is going to change, and everybody's going to be more loving and caring and stuff like that.
That never happened.
No, no, and I remember,
unfortunately,
and I remember realizing that never happened, and realizing that we were picking up these hippies like we used to, and you bring them home, and they spend the night at your house or whatever, and then they go on their way. But now they spend the night at your house, and things are missing from your house, and they go on the way. And it was like, this idea of generosity was you'd never take from people.
Right.
You just wouldn't do it. But no. And that all kind of fell apart. I kind of see now. And then for a long time I did meditation and a bunch of other things. All of those to try and open myself up and be more loving and caring. None of them, I would say, ever produced the actual lasting thing in me.
Okay.
It was only later when, I was 26, when I came to know Jesus. Now, here is a specific point in time when I began to actually experience overwhelming love and care. And it was my buddy Brian Klinger. And I'm going with Brian to this weird church. Bear in mind, I've got this liberal mentality. Oh, there's many ways to God. Oh, I'm going to go with you, Brian. I'll go here and see what your way to God might be. And then we get there, and there are people in there raising their hands and stuff, and they're going, praise Jesus. I'm going, this is really weird. But I'm feeling oddly calm in this environment. So my initial analysis is, I wonder what the psychological variables are here. And then after a while, it became more obvious that it wasn't psychological. It was a real person that was there. And I remember one day, it was during a service, and Brian hugged me, and that is when I really felt overwhelmingly cared for and loved. And from there is what my experience became. I would say in a lot of ways now, as a lifelong Christian since age 26, trying to follow that way, I've now got the mental state I wanted when I was younger and was trying so hard to find, and really couldn't find it. And it's not the same thing. And I know you can't tell somebody who's into drugs and stuff that. I know you can't tell them. They've got no referent for where I am now. Mm-hmm. And it's not a matter of me growing mentally or being more generous. It's a matter of the Lord comes with you, stays with you, and he keeps tweaking you, tweaking you. And then
no matter which situation you're in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that if you can kind of get that, I get it sometimes. I forget it quickly. Back and forth, and that he's going to teach you in whatever situation you're in. Yeah. And it'll be there. But now I kind of see myself in a way as, how Jews who come to Jesus, they consider themselves completed Jews. Okay. So I'm kind of like a completed hippie.
There you go.
See, I get to be this goofy hippie guy. And we used to love saying as a hippie, go, I love you, man. Because somebody would be yelling at you, go, you dirty hippie, blah, blah, blah. And you go, I love you, man. And, and they go, they don't know how to take it. Right. And part of it was psychological. But now I really feel that.
Yeah.
That to me is what is the cool part.
I think for me, what it boils down to is value, right?
Okay.
Value is this, man-made construction that it's hard to really know where it comes from. So you have...
Oh, yeah.
I don't have any of my Pokemon cards, but a piece of cardboard that has a shiny print on it that could be worth $500,000.
Yeah.
And it's only because somebody's willing to pay $500,000.
That's right. Yeah.
So for me, it's where what I value the most.
Right.
And I value relationships with people.
Right.
And I value, I guess, I wouldn't say loyalty, but I like loyalty. I like people who are there for me, and I reward that.
Yep.
I've something I learned from you guys is, I don't make loans. I give.
Yeah, that's just much. It's simpler.
And the reason is I don't want to mess up any of the relationships that I've built.
And it almost always will.
Right.
Yeah.
And I value the relationship more than I value $1.
Oh yeah.
For me, I can find a number of ways to make any kind of money that I need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's much harder for me to make friends and lasting relationships. And so for me, that's where I put my value. And that's why being generous isn't a thing for me. Is because I don't put value into money.
Right.
I mean, I need it, obviously, to pay for my house, my car, my bills. But I don't need an excess of it.
Right. Yeah.
I don't need to be a millionaire. That's not what I value in life.
Right.
I don't value somebody thinking, oh, wow, he has a lot of money. Because I don't need a lot of money.
Right. Yeah, I don't care about it.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's really where I think from you guys that I've learned at a young age what a value of $1 is. And to me, the value is not worth giving up friendships.
Oh, yeah.
Or any kind of relationships. And so that's why, to me, giving is so easy. Mm-hmm. And so, I don't know. I just thought this would be an interesting topic to talk about. Since
it is. Yeah.
I know I got it from you guys, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, the thing is, whatever you got from us, and this is like my buddy Essie at work talks about, and this is something we talked about this, but Essie brings up that she was just talking about a sermon that they had, mm-hmm. and she's going, we're reading Genesis, and the pastor was saying that sometimes the kids' mission is much bigger than the parents' mission. Which, oh gosh, I wish Essie would quit saying those things, because what happens is it sticks in me and it starts to wrestle with where I am in various things. And I think that that's what's happened in you, is that for you, it's almost like a thing that you can build on. You didn't have to find it and then put it there, but for
Right.
you, it's in you,
Yeah.
and you were able to express it easier
Mhm.
and essentially hold with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. I think, values. The thing about value is there's the real value.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to trade your friends for a Pokemon card? Some people might.
Yeah.
But that is what will last.
Right.
And I love what Tolstoy said sometimes. Tolstoy said, there are a lot of superstitious people in the world who believe they're going to die. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that's true, and Tolstoy's right, this is what will be our wealth when we're
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Will be our friendships, and we'll be able to do them in ways that we've never been able to do
Yeah.
here and stuff.
So.
It'll go on and on and on.
Yep.
So,
I thought that was a fun little topic to talk about. I'm glad you let me go down the rabbit hole with you.
okay.
So, and we'll think of some more Gold or Coal to do later on.
Okay. All right.
Anyways, guys, if you like this, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. If not, you can hit the thumbs down. Not going to hurt my feelings. It's going to hurt yours.
No, it won't hurt mine because I won't read it.
Or you can give it a thumbs up because it doesn't hurt yours.
It doesn't matter. You can do all the thumbs down you want. Nobody will know anymore.
Yeah, YouTube did away with the thumbs down.
They've decided thumbs down. That's too judgmental. Whatever.
I hope each and every one of y'all have an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, until next time, YouTube, smile like you mean it from the Bushy fam.